This is so much fun.
I know, right? I'm like,
Mm. There you go.
Can you hear me?
we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh, I hear you.
You can
Yep.
hear us. Great.
Okay, so now I'm at the other part of my studio.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
I'll play something for you.
Oh,
Oh, great.
oh,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
oh,
So
oh.
this is my wonderful Steinway piano, which I love very much. For years, I worked on my Yamaha, which I love too. But then when I got this my concert grand, my 9-foot grand, I moved the other one into my house, my Yamaha. And for all the years my kids grew up, I never had music in the house because it was always in my studio.
Right.
And they knew when I walked through the living room or something to turn the music off because I always had music in my ear, you know.
Ah,
So now that we have a piano in the living room, we can have sing-alongs and things. We've had more fun.
ah. How I'm
Anyway,
just I'm sitting here and going, oh my God. I was thinking, I know we're going through the pandemic right now, but
yeah.
I'm like, we're spending this moment right now with you, and how many people get to sit here and listen to the composer of the song of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't speak.
Well, thank you. I'm awfully happy to hear that. Actually, just yesterday I was watching something on the news, and Andrew Lloyd Webber sat down and he played something for them. And I must say, I really did enjoy watching him do that too. Yeah, I for years I produced a concert called "The Songs of Our Lives,"
Yeah.
and I could probably show you some things over there. I did it for about 10 years, and we did as a charity for the Fulfillment Fund, a wonderful organization that helps about 2,000 students, young students a year, with scholarships to get into college. It's a fantastic organization. And I would put on yearly concerts for them of songwriters. And I asked all my friends, Burt Bacharach and you said Sergio Mendes and so all the great songwriters, Lieber and Stoller and Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil, and Bill Withers and Melissa Manchester. And we'd have 4 or 5 songwriters, each doing their own thing. And for me, it was not only a pleasure to do it as a fundraiser, but to see my friends at their
Right.
piano doing the same thing.
Friends hanging out.
Yeah, we all delight in the same thing, I think. So anyway, I'm happy to be that person today.
Charles, what do you think Nadia Boulanger would have? What do you think she thought of that song if she did hear, or what would be her take on "Killing Me
Oh, I
Softly"?
could tell you exactly.
Yeah.
She was into classical music.
Uh-huh.
Just that simple. She might have appreciated the melody. I don't know. I mean, I would never dare to have played a song for her.
Right. No,
No, I wouldn't.
that's kind of what I thought. Was
Yeah,
she just not in that world? She was just only in a strict classical world, kind of in the sense.
it's a strict classical
Just
world. Yeah,
it's Mozart, it's Debussy, it's Beethoven, it's Chopin. It's not. So
and
she couldn't
Stravinsky.
shift into and Stravinsky, right? Because they
And
were
Stravinsky. Yeah.
friends.
Well, more than that, Stravinsky sent his son
Oh wow.
to study with Boulanger too. Yeah, um, here's the world that I was fortunate enough to rub shoulders with. Nadia Boulanger's teacher was Gabrielle Fauré,
Right. That's
the
right.
great
Yeah.
French composer.
Oh,
Her
beautiful.
classmate at the conservatoire was Ravel, and her best friend was Stravinsky.
Ah,
And you could, I could. Chagall could be coming over. Chagall did come over for lunch, and all the great people of the arts, and Leonard Bernstein and people,
Yeah.
she was of that world,
So was
she was
popular
also,
music something she just couldn't? It just wasn't. It wasn't her
it,
taste. Yeah.
it wasn't at all, no. And
Hmm.
I mean, Michel Legrand studied with her for 7 years,
That's right.
and I'm sure we had talked about it once, but that wasn't the world that she knew. I did my first ballet at San Francisco Ballet premiered with the San Francisco Ballet. I went to Paris to give her a copy of that, which I dedicated to her.
Mm.
And
was that a song from a dead warrior?
Song for Dead Warriors. Yeah, it was my
Mm.
first ballet. It was about the Native Americans. And I was very happy and proud to give it to her, and I dedicated it to her. Unfortunately, I got to Paris just about a day after she passed away, a day or two.
Oh.
So I didn't get to show her that, but she knew about the work. I mean, because I was in touch with her, and she gave me tremendous encouragement along the way. And she spoke English with a very big French accent, but she had a very beautiful poetic way of expressing herself. And when I wrote to her about my ballet that I was working on, she wrote, "You work in such a broken heart subject, so not heartbreaking, but a broken heart subject." And she was always just encouraging. You know what? It didn't matter to her how I spent my life doing music. She only wanted to know if I was composing. Just that simple.
Mm.
And that when I would speak to her, which it wasn't often after I left, but I did write, and she wrote back to me. But as long as I was composing music, she was content
Mm-hmm.
to know that.
Mm.
And I'm sure that's quite true with many of us students too. I became very friendly with Charles Strauss, who wrote Bye Bye Birdie.
Annie, right?
Charles is one of my really dear friends. We met. It was Hal David's 85th birthday in New York, and they asked me to sing a song that we wrote together. And they asked Charles also, and a number of other people, including Darren Warwick and people like that, real singers. But I met Charles, and we were at the sound check, and we had a few hours to wait until the event started at night. And so it turned out Charles also studied with Boulanger.
Really? Wow.
And, and he, so we got to be friendly just based on that, But I have other friends too. Paul Chihara, the great composer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We
From UCLA,
studied
right?
with
Yeah.
we Quincy, as I said, and once you've had that experience, it's an extraordinary experience to share with someone, Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What do you want the most at this moment in your life?
Well, that's a very interesting question. No, I'll be back to you in about an hour. I'll tell you what, I'm working on two projects right now. I'm doing 2 musicals. The one I mentioned with Alain Boublil, and that's an original show. And then I have another collaboration with Norman Steinberg and Arthur Hamilton, and who wrote Cry Me a River. And that's a musical. Now, we've just completed that. That's a musical based on an 18th century play called School for Scandal.
Oh.
And we were supposed to do a reading of it at the Wallace Theater May 1st, and of course, everything closed down.
Yeah.
So we'll wait to see. But I have those 2 projects. And then I would just tell you about 2 years ago, I decided I want to get back to my Latin roots. People might say, what are your Latin roots? You know, but I started off playing Latin music, really. And I got into Cuban music and Puerto Rican music. So I decided I wanted to make a new album. And it turns out that I did make a few albums in my early 20s, you know, my own Latin band, all Spanish songs. And it turns out that some of those records are still being played and danced to in many countries around the world, I found out. Anyway, I thought I want to make a new Latin American record, and I would record maybe here in Los Angeles, maybe New York, maybe even Cuba and Puerto Rico.
Mm.
And then I was invited to come to Cuba by the Minister of Culture to do a concert at the Opera House. When he heard about it through a mutual friend and a Cuban composer. So they invited me to come to do some concerts in Cuba. And so my friend Danny Gold, who's a wonderful filmmaker, who made a movie called The Bronx, USA, which was on HBO right now. And he made another one, if you're not in the obit, eat breakfast. That was a lot of guys in the 90 years old and up, Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner and people like that.
I've heard
Anyway,
of that.
it's a wonderful. Anyway, so when I told Danny about that, he says, I want to make a movie of that. He said, I want to film that. So that's now being made into a motion picture, a documentary film. We'll probably do some more recording. But Danny sent the camera crew and great sound mixers to Cuba. When I did, we spent 10 days and filmed me rehearsing, and I did 2 concerts at the Opera House, and we went to the conservatory, and I had sent music in advance, and they played I conducted them playing some music from my ballet, one of my ballets, and then there were choruses that sang for me, my songs. So all that is being turned into a full-length documentary film, which is, so I'm kind of giddy about that, frankly. It's, I've done a lot of movies, but never on the screen, always behind the screen.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You know, I tell you what, another unfinished dream of mine. I started to work on an opera based on The Grapes of Wrath a number of years ago. Marilyn Horne was going to be the Majode character, one of the great mezzo-sopranos now. My friend Lamont Johnson was going to direct it. And we never got the rights from the estate. And without the rights, I can't do it, you know. So I wrote about a half an hour's worth of the opera, and I recorded it with the members of the Los Angeles Opera Company. And anyway, it's a long story, but I'm planning, even without the rights at this point, and maybe hopefully we'll get them, to go back to my work of finishing that. It's something just for myself that I want to be able to complete.
Yeah.
And David, I tell you that I promised some individual works to different, a piece for cello and a piece for violin. And so I have no amount of, I have so many things in my future that I want to do and accomplish, you know.
I love it. I love that. Just keep on creating.
It's the notes don't stop. And I'm greeted by my wonderful Steinway every morning. It says hello to me, and I go to work. I'll show you about my room if you'd like to see.
Oh, I love it! I love it.
So, well, here, this is now. Let's see if this will work. I'm holding up.
Oh yeah.
You tell me. Okay, so this was my T-shirt. That's Nadia Boulanger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At her piano, and this was from Fontainebleau, a little an award I got there. Just a bunch of pictures. See the Happy Days guys and
right, and Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, and a bunch of things on the walls. You can see records and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. What do we have here? This is kind of funny. I never did this before.
I love it.
Yeah. Let's see. This was posted for my Zorro ballet, and that's some scenes from my Zorro ballet.
That's the Zorro ballet. Oh, a little quick.
Too quick? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
I'll go slower.
No. Okay.
I'm sure I look a little silly.
No, it's great. We get a
some of my classical pieces, my clarinet quintet. And this Fantasy is a work that I was commissioned, if you can see it, by the Polish government to write a piece honoring the 200th birthday of Chopin. And anyway, that was a piece. And this, about a year ago, 2 years ago, I released the Jane Fonda, the Barbarella record, and Wonder Woman.
Right.
So they had this nice little thing there at the store.
Oh, your finger's in front now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay.
Okay. So so this is a Latin band I work with, and you can see me playing drums on the side because there was no room for the piano there.
Oh,
cool.
And some nominations and things, Academy.
What's that? Your finger again. What is that? No, that's okay. What's that one for?
And this is the San Francisco Ballet. Some of the pictures from my Zorro, of my Warriors Ballet. And these are some, stuff from my walls. Amazing.
Wow.
Songwriter Hall of Fame. And that's my wife and I at the Oscars.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Let's see. This was from the piece I mentioned. We had 22,000 people in Poland watching us perform that piece for the honoring Chopin.
Right. Well, I see the family picture there, which is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's my daughter, two of the little ones. Let's see. That's my grandson, who's a great pitcher. He's hoping to be in the majors. Yeah. And let's see. This was Prince Charles and Camilla. Yeah. And it's one of my first records. This is quite nice. This was from the Polish government.
Right.
And a visit to the White House with Bill Clinton. That's my teacher. That's my teacher, Boulanger.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is actually, if you can see it, I don't know what you can see, but me conducting my very first piece. I was 18. And here is Nadia Boulanger watching me.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, these are a lot of my films. These are all my films that I scored. And let's see, here's my my recording studio part of the room. If you can see it.
Yes.
Wow.
Look at that. What a gorgeous space.
The things I'm working on now, and here we are. You can see my piano.
Yes.
Does this look silly? I don't know. I've never done this before.
No, it's fascinating.
I love
this it. This is a group of Foul Play when we all were up in San Francisco. That's
wait, you're
Chevy and Goldie Hawn.
Oh, wait. Go over a little. Over to the right or the left. Let's see.
I don't know. I can't tell.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, look at that. Wait, where?
Yeah,
you're on the end there.
I'm on the end. That's Gary Marshall on the other end, and Chevy and Goldie. And that's Colin Higgins.
Where's Colin Higgins?
Eddie and Miller and Milkus, the producers.
Let's
actually, here's a scene.
Oh, yes.
From Foul Play where I'm conducting the orchestra, Paramount Pictures.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Great shot.
And this is with Roberta collecting the Grammy Award.
Oh, go back a little. Oh, yes. Let's see the other. I didn't see you in that picture.
Oh, I'm here. Hi.
Okay, I just didn't. There you are. Look at that.
And then this is kind of a motley-looking basketball team from One on One.
I love it. Oh, yes, there's Robbie.
There's Robbie Benson and me and
Let's
Paul
just-
Williams and Seals and Crofts.
Oh my God, let's see Paul. I didn't see. Oh, there's Paul. There he is over there. Yeah. Oh, what a great photo.
Wow.
Okay, I'm back.
We're back.
Okay, well, I'm back at my desk now. How
Thanks.
did that work? Did that work okay?
Oh, it was
Oh, that
great.
was beautiful to see.
It was great. It's very personal, very loving. That was, yeah. Again, I'm like, invited into your home.
Well, it's my pleasure. My pleasure to show you guys around. And it's a little weird, though. I'm walking around holding this thing up. That's a first for me. I've never done that.
Well, hey, I loved it. I loved it.
But we're all in a world of firsts. You know, this pandemic thing has put us all into a world of doing all kinds of stuff that we never, you know, we leave our house to meet people.
Right.
Exactly.
Doesn't seem to work that way these days, but hopefully we'll be through it and before too long.
Well, I look forward to the day when we can get out of the house and we can all sit around and have a glass of wine or ginger ale.
Yeah. I got I got coffee, I've got water, I've got all kinds of stuff.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it was such an honor talking to you. You're just such a brilliant composer, and I'm blown away. I've been a fan of yours for years, so it's such an honor to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
I appreciate it, and happy to share my.
Oh, you probably have 1,000, 1,000,000 stories that you should write a book. Oh, you did write a book.
I did write a book. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. That's
And
right.
so I got a chance to tell my stories. Yeah, which was. And actually, I'll tell you about that book. It didn't start off as where I said I'm going to write a book. Far from it. When I was a student in Paris, we couldn't afford to. I had no telephone. Couldn't afford to call New York and my parents. So I wrote a lot of letters. Got a lot of letters back, and my letters were long. Explanations of what I was doing. I even though my parents didn't know about music, I wrote to them every one of my experiences and the operas I saw, the composers I met, and the concerts I went to. I wrote about Boulanger on a daily basis practically. I knew how significant it was in my life. So a few years before my mother passed away, we found a shoebox in my mother's drawer in her apartment in the Bronx. And it was tucked away underneath some things. And in the shoebox, she preserved all the letters that I wrote home.
Wow.
About 200. And long letters and the old airmail stationery, which you all remember. But it was very thin paper, and you could see through one side to the other. So when we found that, my daughter collated us. She put them, she Xeroxed them and put them into some kind of a form for the dates.
Yeah.
And then I had my assistant type it up and put it into the computer. I thought just for my kids' sake, just so they have, can know what their father was doing when I was 18, 19, 20. And so my son, Robbie, who's a screenwriter, he wrote So I Married an Axe Murderer and a number of other films. Has a
Love that movie.
film about to start shooting now for Sony called The Man from Toronto. Anyway, he mentioned it to his agent one day, and his agent said his father-in-law was a literary agent, and he thought he'd be interested in seeing my letters. So one day I got a call from this literary agent, introduced himself, and he asked me if I would send him my letters, and I said, well, it's kind of personal. It's my letters. I don't know what he wants. Why do you want to see my letters? And he said, well, first of all, it's 40 years old already, and I don't know if you would mind me seeing it. He said, but I'm really fascinated by what life in Paris was in 1959 and 1960, a young composer. He said, I'm just really curious. So I sent him the letters, and he called me back a couple weeks later, and he said, there's a book here. If you'd be willing to just tell me a little bit about what your life was before you went to Paris and what happened since. And just maybe give me an outline of what you would put in the book. And I said, I really don't know how to outline a book. I said, but I'll write the book. So I wrote it, and he kind of acted as my editor along the way, gave me suggestions, and Anyway, and then he went out and got sold the book, and that was how it happened. But in the book, a lot of letters. You should read it. In the book called "Killing Me Softly: My Life in Music," on Scarecrow Press, I do reprint a lot of the letters that I wrote home. So there's a lot of information about Nadia Boulanger, which a lot of people told me they found really interesting, because I wrote about her on a daily basis. I'd come home from a lesson and say, "Mom, dear family," I'd always write, "and this is what happened today, and this is what she said, and this is the progress I'm making on my string quartet, on my harp concerto, concerts I saw." And, anyway, so those letters are part of the book of my story, telling my story. And those are interwoven through the whole book. Anyway.
Wow.
That's
my story.
I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style. And so I came to see him to listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, strumming my faith with his fingers. I dare you, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
Love, 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 love American style, truer than the red, white, and blue. Love American style, that's me and you.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Haas and Bepp Incorporated.
We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. And we'll do it our way, yes, our way. Make our dreams come true. For me and you. Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman.
All the world's waiting for you and the power you possess. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights, and the old red, white, and blue.
Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I got a name, I got a name. Like the singing bird and the croaking toad, I got a name, I got a name. And I carry it with me like my daddy did, but I'm living the dream that he kept here. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by.
And I'm ready to take a chance again, ready to put my love on the line with you. Been living with nothing to show for it. You get what you get when you go for it. And I'm ready to take a
lost as a child's first thought. I must have arms to hold me, lost without love and care. I must have my fair share.
I'm Jill Kidmon, and I ski!
Violet, get me some coffee.
Yes, sir.
honestly, I added a line at the end that we shall have peace, that's what we should strive for. Even though it wasn't words he said, I believe it derived from that which came before it. So that's how I ended it.